everything Bonded Fields was his idea.
It's a bit much. I think that's a bit far.
He say that every time. He's so
That's a bit
modest.
far.
He's so
I'm not
modest.
It just, this really wasn't my vision, but here we are.
So tell us what your vision really was.
Last week we told you why we started Bonded Fields. Today we will talk about what we actually did and what we would change.
Welcome to Bonded Fields Podcast, where faith, family, and the land comes together. This is the real journey of building a meaningful life through homesteading, stewardship, and hard work and faith, one field at a time. Whether you're just getting started or rebuilding your life around what matters most, you are in the right place. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Bonded Fields family, we so glad you came back with us again for episode 2. We had went over last week with episode 1. We had a great time. We hope you had a chance to check us out, see what we talking about. We talked about last week why we started Bonded Fields, and today we want to talk about what we do different if we had to start over again. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that we experienced starting up. And I'm so glad today I'm going to say this again. I said it before. We got the visionary, the one and only Keaton P. Ryan. So we glad to have him. Everything Bonded Fields was his idea.
It's a bit much. I think that's a bit far.
He say that every time. He's so modest.
Far.
He's so
I'm not
modest.
It just, this really wasn't my vision, but here we are.
So tell us what your vision really was.
I just wanted to. So just like in the last episode when y'all was talking about, I bought them two little pots, right?
The bag containers.
Bag containers, yeah.
Yeah. I
bought them two little things just to learn the skill of growing food. Right. I wasn't like it wasn't before I knew it. We was clearing off 3 acres to break up land for a garden. You see what I'm saying? So to say that my vision was all this that we did is a bit much. That was really more so him. And ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? But it just, I did have the initial idea to start growing food though. That was 100%.
So the reason I say this vision was his because he probably didn't go to the extent of homesteading. But when he came to me the last time with his idea or whatever, that's all he showed me. Was a bunch of videos on homesteading and regenerative practices and what was I got George Washington Carver, his documentary on rotational planting, and that's not what it's called. What was
rotational grazing? No, rotational cropping. That ain't what it's called, but
yeah,
that's what it is though. That's all it is.
You just change the crops and talk about putting the nitrogen back in the soil and everything, and why he used peanuts. And because we thought peanuts was just for peanut butter to make peanut butter with.
That whole story, it was crazy because you always hear about George Washington Carver being the peanut guy, but they never told us why they was making the peanuts.
Right.
So yeah.
But it was a method to his madness, if I could say it like that. But yes, he wanted chickens first. He also wanted to plant the garden, and I did clear off. But we didn't plant a full acre the first time, but we did have a pretty big garden.
We cleared off 3 acres of land. We cleared off 3 acres of land and broke up a big patch. It probably wasn't an acre, but it was big though. Mm-hmm.
It was big.
Yeah,
but we did.
That was really not ever in my intentions.
Right.
Really and truly, it really wasn't.
But when he presented it to me last year, and I was gung-ho. I got on board quick and just, I guess I'd say I took it to a whole nother level, but I still say it was all behind his idea and his pushing and pulling, trying to get us to do it, regardless of what the size was. But he did. I'll say this one thing: I did learn that you don't need a lot just to do a farming or homestead. You don't need a lot of land. You can use what you got. You can use your back porch, and that'll be good. But that's what we're going to talk about this week, some of the things that we could have done differently or would do different if we started again. And I'm glad to have you guys with us. So glad to have him with us tonight. But I will say this. He may not own up to it, but he has some ideas and a vision of some things that he would like to see and see us do. We've talked about it. And I was already in the same vein, if I say it like that. So I'm really on board, and I still want to see those things come to fruition later on as we move forward. But this is really a good learning experience for me too, because I really was raised with the conventional garden. These practices that we're doing now is really new to me, but it's interesting how you can still do it without doing it the conventional way. So that was and name something we gonna admit. We started with chickens, but first we're gonna talk about what we got right. And I'm gonna say this: if it's anybody out there that's watching us and listening to us about homesteading and starting your own homestead or farm, whatever you want to call it. Farm is more like a business side of it, but homesteading is where you grow food for your family, yourself, and then it's so many other things that come into that. But I will say this: it may not was intended to be this big, but here we are today. We started with the chickens. Things will never be perfect when you start. I'm gonna say the chickens, we did good with them. Starting out, we did good with them. We did put them outside. They got out of their little pen, and we think that a hawk may have gotten one of them. That was very early when we first got them. And then later on, we did have some pressure, predator pressure, and hawk got some more of our chickens. But that was some of the things. I will say one of the other things that we did right. We started slow.
That's arguable.
And let's argue it. Just say this. I'm gonna say this. My slow is faster than his slow.
So I will say what we did right was start.
Okay.
That's what we did right, was just start, period. And that's not only with homesteading or farming or anything. That's just with anything you want to do. Like any project, any idea you got in your mind, just start.
Just start. It's not going to be perfect at first.
Yeah, don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about being right. Like, that's one reason it's been 6 years since we got this podcast. If y'all can see this room to start a podcast, out of all the podcasts in the world, this is the most perfect episode 2 podcast studio in the world. This podcast has been talked about for what?
6 years.
7 years.
2020 doing
2020. So yeah, 6 years.
We bought the equipment during
in COVID. And we just now getting the podcast to y'all. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like the one thing we did right with the homesteading aspect was just start.
We started. Just start. Because we didn't, and I'm gonna talk about that a little later though. But yes, most definitely, just starting. Looking back, I probably would have done something different. From just starting, I probably would have sat down and tried to plan a little more. Cause the biggest thing is infrastructure.
Yeah, but it's a catch-22. It really is. It's really a catch-22. Cause okay, you can start and not have nothing ready.
That's right.
And not do nothing at all.
And gonna wait till you got it perfect, and you won't never start.
And then, or you can wait until you got everything. Like this no offense to you at all.
No,
but
not at all.
This podcast studio is the perfect example. Wouldn't you say?
But I was slow.
Now you were slow. Anyways,
6 years behind.
Yeah. Like,
but I wasn't slow buying my equipment.
You weren't slow buying the equipment, but you could have been started the podcast.
I could have.
You see what I'm saying? You could have been, and and it's not that you was waiting for it to be perfect or nothing, but it was just, you was just trying to figure out the lane that you. But that's what we could have did with the homesteading / farm. It really was never supposed to get to a farm. I'm serious. It really wasn't in the initial vision. We could have sat down and planned it out if that's what we really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could have. It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
You do need to plan, but you also need to start.
Yeah. You need to start.
Yeah, you need to start. So.
And don't wait till you have everything perfect to start. That's my thing. You don't want to wait for perfection, because you'll never reach perfection. And we have a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things that need to be done. And so this just this week I have been sitting around trying to make sure that I don't beat myself up and keep saying I'm behind.
Because
I'm really not behind, but I just got to plan it out so that and do a little at a time to get it to where I need it to be.
Yeah, I didn't know he was saying he was behind, but
yeah,
I mean, it depends on who you comparing yourself to.
I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I'm just looking at the projects that I have
that you want to get done.
That I want to get done, and some things that should have already been done. That's what I'm looking at. But I'm still trying to encourage myself to keep it moving and not give up, and definitely don't want to burn out, which I don't feel like I'm in no burnout state at all. I'm ready to go. But it just takes time, and then I don't play with the heat a whole lot. So
yeah, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that is.
That's a whole nother beast right there.
Yeah, and to see our thing too is we're learning as we go. Because I do get a lot of people, when you gonna have this and when you gonna have that? I would like to get some of this from you, and I would like to get some. We're learning. We still learning. Because we did do our fall garden, which I think did well. We just had some hiccups with the grass and stuff like that, but for what we had planned to do with that kind of set us back a little bit. But we had a good fall garden. It worked well for us, but we did have to kind of abort it early to get ready for the spring garden. And again, grass is always an issue. So, but we learning there too. We gonna get it. That's for sure. But that was one of the big lessons we learned. We did a project early on with the chickens. We built the first chicken coop, and I was skeptical about starting that because of, let me say it like, I knew I wasn't a carpenter, and I knew of me measuring stuff and that just trying to measure things, and I knew I wasn't gonna hit it just like I needed to. So, but he encouraged me, if you can read, we can do it. And so we did the first coop. I think we did real well on the first coop. Now we kind of threw the second coop together.
That's a hard we.
We right there. Let's talk about that, because I started out, I was gonna do it because he was working or training for his job in the academy, so he wasn't really available.
But the problem was we had no business getting that extra flock of chickens.
Yeah, and
that was.
I'm not gonna totally agree. Why did we decide to get the flock of chickens?
Because they were cheaper than the first flock. But if we hadn't been in there.
You want to tell the folks what we doing here, man?
Yeah, we messed around and bought some more chickens. At it again. Couldn't pass up this deal. Couldn't pass up this deal. As I was going back up front to go out, he said, "Oh, you do have some for $1." And then I went back to look at what he was talking about, and sure enough, they did. But when we got to talking to the lady that works in there, she shared with us that she wanted to know how many we were going to get. And so I told her, I said, we're going to get 20. She said, well, if you get 20, I give them to you for 50 cents each. So, of course, we could not leave those chicks in the store. 50 cents for $6 chicken. Come on now. Hey, that was a good deal. So I know they going to say it was all me, but King couldn't walk away from that either.
Y'all, we don't need no more chicken. But at 50 cents a bird, you really can't beat it. So, but this is Jim Jr. This is the last for a while, okay?
This is the last, but
you can stop. You can stop going on your field trips, okay?
No, I'm going on my field trips. But listen, he said in the last little short video we did the other day, we really need another flock to go along with these to help these out.
And you're gonna have to clip that count.
Yeah,
you gotta go climb the clip.
Go find the clip.
Put it in here too. You gotta
make sure you finish. He said, but Mama ain't gonna let us
do it. Now the only issue we're gonna have now is gonna get some more chickens, but I don't know if our mama gonna let us do that. But If we hadn't been in there, we wouldn't have known they was cheaper than the next flock.
And I couldn't pass up the deal. Okay.
Neither one of us could.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, neither one of us could. But again, we wouldn't have been in. We had no business being in there.
I think there's nothing wrong with that because sometimes I go every day. I don't bring chicken.
You have no reason to be there.
Yeah, I like to go look at the little chicken.
There's no reason to be
I like to go look at the little chicken.
That's not what we here. That's not what we're here for.
so look, this our conversation all the time.
At the same time, though, in all actuality, we were moving too fast with that. Hindsight being 2020, and now for some reason I ain't gonna say that. But anyways, we get more chickens, but I digress.
So the first batch we paid full price for the first batch. We paid a fraction of the cost for the second batch, and we paid $0 for the 8.
That we got
for free. So not even a fraction of the second.
Yeah.
We paid $0.
But
it's okay. It's not.
It's not worked out. But it's just like I said, we was moving too fast with that. We was kind of moving too fast with the pigs too. But you really couldn't turn down that deal either. You know what I mean?
Okay, tell the whole story now. I liked it. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's hard to turn down free. Especially when you're experimenting like we is. And we already ain't got no money.
We call it a science project. The whole thing is a science project.
We already ain't got no money, so if you ain't got no money, and people gonna give you.
It's a blessing. I'm telling you. That's why. Last week, my wife, his mom said, and I really didn't have to throw that in there, but my wife, his mom.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But anyway.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm sorry. So anyway, but. It's a God thing, I think, because just when we think we can't or we shouldn't, we get blessings. And I said the 2 pigs was really a blessing because they didn't have that to do. They just happened to see us on our social media, even though the lady worked with my wife, but she saw us on our social media, and she wanted to know was that us, and they had the pigs and they was willing to give them to us. And my wife was saying, well, they probably not going to want them. We both of us told her, call them right now. We want them.
It's just, if you're going to give them to us, there wasn't no reason not to go.
Yeah, go ahead and take them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was one good thing.
But yeah.
So we did.
What else you got?
So that was that. And just like my next little bullet point was, don't wait until everything is perfect.
Oh, yeah, we touched on that.
Yeah, we already touched on that. So. And that's for anybody, whatever you're going to do, whatever your dream is, it's not going to be perfect. But just start. And one of his things, I like this about him, I don't care what we go to do. He said, I like this. Let's just have a train wreck first and just fix it.
Mm-hmm. A good saying I heard the other day was, bite off more than you can chew and learn how to chew it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
It was like, you just got to do that with everything.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like, who would have thought I'd be a firefighter?
Yeah.
Here we are.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, I still can't believe it.
That's right.
I go to work every other day.
And if he's not here, I have no problem now getting out there with the tools and trying to build something or trying to fix on something. And because I wouldn't have never done that. Not me myself. I just would not have done that. But listening to him and pushing and encouraging, and I just hey, I pick up that saw and let's go. I ain't got to wait on nobody. But that's some of the things. The garden space. The biggest mistake with the garden space was.
What you feel like?
I just feel
with the garden space.
Yeah, because he had done such an excellent job. You see it even in our intro, how he got out there with. He had a tiller, but really a shovel, some string, and a lot of back.
Yeah,
and he built those beds with his hands, and it was so neat. And then we planted the cover crops. And once we planted them, we cut them down and put the silage tarp on and killed everything. And then we did the
wood chips.
That
was a mistake.
Well, not the wood chips wasn't a mistake.
I'm saying not finishing it.
Not finishing the wood chips, but we still got to finish that. That's a project that's hanging out. But still, even your beds still get grass in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's nothing you can really.
It's gonna take time.
It's gonna take time to
It's gonna take time to really get it all together. Then
and mulch it.
mulching it with the compost, and we, like I said, it just ain't finished.
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
it is. If we finish,
But it's coming. It's just a learning experience.
It's a project.
It's
man.
a project
That work
and
right
a
there.
process. It's a process. So, and I don't think we tried to do too much at one time.
No. We didn't do too much. The chickens, we definitely did too much.
But I just
There's
like
no reason we should have 40 some chicken.
Well, yeah and no.
No reason we should have 40 some chicken. And that's okay.
It's fine. It's gonna have to be okay because
Yeah,
we got
ain't
them
got
now.
no choice.
I'm not finna
We
kill
got
them
'em.
now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
So
just
this
saying,
the other
but
thing.
it's
But
no reason we should
let me
have
say this. But with the 40 plus chickens, let's just back that up to 37.
Okay.
Because only 37 of them are at laying eggs
right now. Okay.
And we have been a blessing in the community with those eggs. People love the eggs. And then we get to donate eggs to first responders. Do we not?
Yeah, we do.
Locally and off a distance, because he works off, so he get to take eggs to work. But we donate them on a regular basis to first responders. As a matter of fact, I need to do that this week for the local group that we're doing for, and then we're gonna add on another local group.
Oh, really?
Yes. I've been doing it for the EMTs that now living at our fire station in town, and I'm gonna do the police station.
Okay, that's what's
So just want to continue to do that. I think it's a blessing to them and definitely a blessing to us. So that was one of the things, and I'd say I did do too much, a little bit too much, but that's me. I'm
But
over
that's
the top.
him, though. That's
I'm
just
over
him.
the top.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes,
I want the greatest of everything. I don't think he said if it was left up to me, the chickens would have a heated and air
oh
conditioned
yeah, they'd be
coop.
man eating better than we is. If it was up to Jim Jr.
No, they would not. But I'm this type of person. If you're gonna be in something, be in it. If you're not, don't do it. Just leave it alone. So that's just me.
6, 7. Go ahead.
Okay. So that was but infrastructure. Let's talk about a little more about the infrastructure. Because that's the biggest thing with this is the infrastructure. Chickens, you get the chickens. I do the same for 40 chickens that I was going to be doing for 10 chickens. So it really doesn't matter to me. It's just more of them. So I do have to have more feed, but I was going to feed 10, so I might as well feed 40. Chicken math is a real thing, and people don't want to believe that, but it really is.
The infrastructure thing it is a little bit harder to move animals than what we initially thought it was going to be. Now, granted, if we had a smaller, just hear me out. If we had a smaller flock,
bother me.
it would be easier. But we just didn't equate with having to move so many animals at one time in one day. Because now what it'll take us, close to 2 hours.
Do it take that long?
Take a minute now. You gotta think them too big. When we got them bigger fences, that's when they really kind of switched. We ended up getting bigger fences, and that kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
And then now since we got the chickens all in one group,
yes,
that has helped out a lot.
That did change.
Yeah,
and that's again, that's another learning experience, because I say to anybody doing this, you have to have systems. And that's another system. How we keep them, how they live every day, and then because we want them to be able to free range, and so moving them can get hectic sometimes because they don't all come back when you want them to come back. So there are other ways to do it where you don't, but you have to get up real early to do that. So
yeah, it's nothing that's unhandled. Like it's nothing that we can't handle.
No.
But it's just
but keeping the chickens is easy.
Yeah.
As long as you have a system. It don't take me, if I go out before I go to work, it may take me 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Because their feed is prepared now for in the morning. So I just run out and dump it in there.
Yeah, the everyday stuff is simple.
Yes.
That's not what I'm referring to. But as
But
far
just-
as infrastructure
yeah.
wise, we could have set up a better system starting out. But again, that's where you come into waiting
got
too
to
long to start.
Yeah.
Waiting too long to start. If we really
And when you're doing it out of pocket, it's not easy.
It's definitely harder.
It's harder.
It's definitely just
It's harder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the infrastructure issue that we have, and which is fine. Okay, it takes time, and I believe we're gonna get there, and it's gonna look. But don't never try this. Don't never try to have a Pinterest homestead. And I say Pinterest because you can look at Pinterest for ideas, and they're gonna show you.
Stop looking at Pinterest.
No. They show you different.
That's what he need.
No. I look at them for ideas, but I look at them for ideas that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if you look at every picture that they have on Pinterest, ain't no way you could do all that stuff in our condition. In my condition, I can't do it. Pinterest make it look so good, but it costs, and until till my ship sail, I can't do that. And so I don't know when that'll be. So anyway, I got to do it at my pace. But that's the thing. You can't never wait. So thinking everything gonna be expected. What would you tell a beginner who was just say, I like what y'all doing and I want to do that?
With no experience like
us.
Mm-hmm. You had experience.
I had some, but I was a child doing it.
But if you were a beginner, start off with pots, which was my initial idea.
Well, you did it.
Start off there. Start off real super duper small. For real. All jokes aside, start off really small and take your time. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to find shortcuts. Ain't no shortcuts when it comes to raising food. Honestly, you just kind of, go with the flow. Really, start slow. Watch YouTube. I always tell him, like, it really ain't nothing you can do nowadays. If you can read, it's pretty much, it ain't nothing you can't handle.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Just go and learn. Go learn. You got to start. So start, learn, mess up, and keep going. It's really that simple.
And learn from the mistakes.
You gotta learn from the mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. Mm-hmm. So when you make a mistake, don't make a mistake and then quit. You know what I mean? Don't quit at the first mistake you can make. Just learn from that mistake and just keep going. And then if you decide you don't like to do it, that's perfectly fine too. But you just least start.
Try.
At least start and try. That's what I say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I say try it too, and expect mistakes. Don't go into it thinking you're not gonna have any mistakes. Cause I'm gonna bounce back to the chickens. Cause when we first built the coop, one morning it rained so hard, and so I had to go out in the rain to turn their boxes around for them to get in. And I realized even with the coop that it was leaking inside the nesting box itself, and I was trying to figure out what to do in the rain. I'm talking about rain pouring like cats and dogs, but I had to do it. But I needed the rain to find the problem. If I had never had the rain, I wouldn't have saw where I had a issue with the chicken coop. So that was good. And then when I went and looked back at the instructions we used to build a chicken coop, we just didn't measure the overhang. We just put it on there and screwed it down.
One thing we're gonna do is do what we want to do.
We're gonna do just what we want to do.
Now,
Them instructions for people that need instructions.
What was that we had? What was we planting some? Was we planting them turnips? What was we planting? And that woman, we was watching the video. And I think the woman told us, did she tell us to wet the ground? Or she said, wait. I can't remember. What was it?
I can't remember exactly how she had that.
Man,
I'm going to have to look that up. But
it was some...
But she gave us the instructions.
She gave us instructions. And we was like, man, we ain't going to worry about that. We're going to do what we want to do. And just show a grip with grocery.
Whatever she said us not to do and the reason not to do it, we realized this is why she said that.
This is exactly why she told us. So, again, if you can read, reading is fundamental.
That's
and listening is fundamental. Do what these folks tell you to do. They know. Don't go off and try to do your own thing thinking you know everything.
That's right. It's been tried already.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly why it's important to follow instructions.
Oh, Lord.
I tell people this all the time. When you putting together a swing and you omit the instructions, just do it your way, and then your baby break their leg because you didn't follow the instructions. If you read the instructions, there's no reason why you got to have 10 screws left over when you finish building that swing set.
Yeah, it's almost at this point, life really just an open book. You know what I mean? You just if you read the book, you'll pass the test.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah. So do expect mistakes. I'm gonna say this: enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. That's what I tell new beginners. Make sure you have fun doing it. And I think that's what captured me. I started at it and I started having so much fun just watching the different vegetables grow and knowing that we planted it. We took care of this. We raised this. And so that I found that very enjoyable. Just get out. When I get out my truck, I'm gonna walk out there and look at the tomatoes. I'm gonna look at the onions. I'm gonna look at the corn. We planted this. I'm gonna look at those chickens. We care for those chickens. I'm going to check them out when I get out. I'm going to look at those pigs. I'm enjoying the journey. So even this, I'm enjoying this. My wife and I, we making sourdough bread. We failed several times.
A lot.
But we enjoying the journey. And we learning as we go because the last loaf was real good. We thought we did real good compared to what we had done in the past. So that's kind of where we are. The things that, and I'll say this: do start. Throw this in a budget.
Yeah, we had that idea.
Yeah,
we had that
but
idea.
If we follow it, we follow it, a budget is necessary.
But I'm not gonna say no. I ain't gonna talk
a budget
too
is
much
necessary, but I'm not crying. Budget is necessary. And I would encourage everybody to get a budget.
To get a budget. Somebody might have said that.
Somebody might have did. And then, but you can get a budget. It fails in more than one way. You can overspend,
and you can underspend.
I'm
with you when you're right.
Or you can underfund.
Yeah.
So
but when you ain't got no fun. Hey,
don't tell these folks you ain't got no fun.
You ain't got the funds, you ain't got the funds. You know what I mean? Man, it is what it is.
So, but if it's being funded, because listen,
it could be funded on budget too, though.
It is. But hold on, no. But and it's also funded other ways too.
And that is, I will say that to the list. Let's actually talk about that. We do appreciate the donations.
Okay,
like the
talk
extra people
real
that,
good.
That has been a blessing.
That's been a blessing because people just say just because of what you're doing, and we can see the hand of God in it. We just want to be a blessing, and I'm gonna donate this much. I may sell eggs $4 a dozen, but they'll pay me $10 for a dozen of eggs. So you can't. God got a way of doing things, and I like the way He do it. And so He just laid on people's hearts to donate, and I think that's really been a blessing. That really has pulled us through thus far. It's helped in so many ways. So I like that. And we do, again, like he said, we do appreciate everything people do to help us with this because they don't have it to do. But just because they see what we're doing, they like it. But that's pretty much it for tonight. And I'm glad he was here tonight and able to sit in with me and talk about. But those are the things we would do different if budget. Go ahead and start, though. Don't expect perfection, and don't ever think that you won't have mistakes. You're going to have mistakes with it, but learn from them and move forward. And another thing I'm learning before I close this out, you may put something in one spot, and then as you look at it and deal with it, it may not be feasible to be in that spot. You may have to move it. That's always a part of the learning process. But I thank God for it. I thank God for this whole experience, this whole journey of what we're doing now, because it's all about Bonded Fields, and we get to hang out in the garden. We get to hang out moving chickens. And pigs.
And pigs, man, that was.
We gonna get off of here, but we tried to move the pigs today, and they said they wanted to take a trip down the road.
I never did that before.
We look up. He said, "Where the pigs?" I said, "They going up the hill." By the time he got up the hill, they were down the street.
Down the road.
So
we really kept going.
And we went talking. But where are y'all going? Get back to this house, and they turned around just like little children and ran back home. But that's a part of it.
Yep.
That's a part of it. That's why I say all these animals have their own personality. If you watch them real close, it's like a whole reality show, just watching them, and they real smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can build some good memories doing this stuff.
Oh
too.
yes, and I think that's something we doing because we laugh all the time. I like to talk to him because we gonna argue most of the time.
Now this is a good one. This is a good argument.
This
You know
was
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
argument. Yeah.
This was a funny argument. Funny,
Yes.
haha.
Yeah.
It can get funny weird around here. But hey, that's part of the journey too, though. You know.
Yeah, because I refuse to be wrong.
And that's a whole nother podcast episode. Cause he ain't never wrong about nothing. And he don't nothing. He ain't never wrong. But anyways, again, that's a whole nother podcast episode.
Okay, we'll talk about it one day.
Yep.
But I'm glad he was able to be with me tonight and sit in on this. And I'm gonna say it to his face. I am so glad he kept pushing. I'm glad he kept wanting to do it and didn't give up on his old daddy because his daddy is really enjoying himself. And I probably wouldn't have done it if he hadn't pushed it. So
He's definitely enjoying this.
I am enjoying myself. So, but hey, what else do I do? Yeah, so we glad you were here tonight.
Yeah, glad to
and
be here.
because he'll be back. He won't be co-hosting, but he will be a frequent guest. He'll be a frequent guest. So me and Mom gonna be co-hosting together. So we enjoy him tonight. We thank y'all for tuning in for this second episode. We're out.
Peace.
We truly hope you enjoyed this podcast. If this story connected with you in any way, we would love for you to subscribe, hit the notifications button, and follow along as we build Bonded Fields, one field at a time. Thank you for joining us. Meet us here next Sunday at 4.